Hello everyone, welcome back guys. Today I wanted to talk briefly about the mindset of selling. So we're going to talk about briefly the mindset of selling. And so I would say that an old mindset of selling would be this. You're trying to sell your product or your service to people, whether you're cold calling, to potential clients. The idea behind the old mindset of selling is you're actually trying to sell something that someone has never heard of, something that a service or a product that people don't have any idea about, right? And so I would call this the old mindset of selling, where you're trying to sell, whether it's those knives or that vacuum cleaner or whatever the product or service that you have to offer, right? And there's the sense of a neediness that, like an old mindset of selling is a sense of neediness, like I've got to make this sale, like you got to close this deal, right? And so that is, who wants to be under those terms, being a seller, being the salesperson, and being on the receiving end of that? So I don't want someone trying to sell me something that I don't want, need, or desire, right? And so the old mindset of selling is people randomly trying to sell something that someone, or convince someone to buy something that they don't desire, that they don't even really need, and that they don't even have the money for, right? Why would you want to go before people that, first of all, don't know who you are, you're not in the marketplace, and then you try to, out of nowhere, sell, right? And a lot of us have started out like that in sales, right? But today I want to talk about three levels of selling, and it has to do with a new mindset of selling, right? And so I desire, when I'm going to purchase something, right? When I want to purchase someone's product or service, first of all, I'm already looking for that product or service, right? And so now it's just, who do I want to give my money to for that product or service? Who has displayed, their product or service in such a way that I am more than happy to give them my money, right? And so one of the tactics or strategies in a new mindset of selling is this: mirroring. So like a mirror, right? So it's called mirroring. And so when you're talking to a customer, when you're talking to a client, when you're talking to some prospective person that is interested in your product, or they may have no idea actually about your product, but you're just in a conversation, you guys are going back and forth. And so one of the strategies to and levels of selling is the level of mirroring. And so what do we mean by mirroring? We mean that you're going to repeat back as you're going back and forth in conversation, right? But more so listening. The salesperson in this situation, in this scenario, is listening, 80 to 90% of the time. And so now as you're listening to your customer, and you're going to repeat back the last few words, 2 or 3 words that they said to you. And so this would be called mirroring, such as somebody's trying to sell their house and they say, yeah, we have to move out, and we have another house in such and such state, and we need this amount of money down. And so the salesperson would say, oh, you're moving out of state, you need this amount of money down? And so that would be mirroring. You're mirroring the last 2 or 3 words that the person spoke to you. And so that's the first level of selling, that you're actually listening to the prospective client, and you are actually repeating back the words that they're saying to you. You're not coming up with new words. You're not coming up with anything new. You're just repeating back exactly what they said to you. And so that's the first level, mirroring. And so then the next level would be labeling. And so what are we talking about when we say label? We're saying things like this: it seems like, or it sounds like. So in that case and scenario, you would say, oh, so you're going to such and such state. Okay, it sounds like you need to move out quickly. And it seems like you have a price in mind already. And so that's called labeling, when you say words, these phrases, seems like and sounds like. And so that would be the second level of selling. And there again, you're not really coming up with anything new. You're just listening to the prospective client, and as they are talking, and you are being the listening ear, you're being the receiver, you're taking notes. And if you're in person and you don't have a notebook, you're taking notes in your head and you're repeating back the last 2 or 3 words that they said. That's the first level, mirroring. And the second level is you're saying to them, it seems like, or it sounds like. And so, which brings us to the third level of selling, and that is that of principle. And so using the principle. And what principle I'm talking about? I'm talking about Proverbs 4:17, where it says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. And so understanding is the foundational principle or key that we're going to use when we're talking to clients. Understanding. And so this is the main reason that we are in conversation with the client, to get that understanding. So the principle of understanding, and this being the motivation for you speaking to your clients, is understanding. And principles have to work. Principles must work because they're like laws. It's like the law. It's like gravity. What goes up must come down. And so the principle of understanding is the third level of your sales strategy. The principle of understanding from Proverbs 4:17, and it has with this idea that in all you're getting, in all the knowledge that you're getting from your client, you've got to get understanding. You're not just haphazardly listening and saying yeah, or okay. You're actually getting understanding. You're actually genuinely seeking to understand where your client is coming from and what they want. Because just like when you go into a restaurant and you make an order, right? You give your order to the waiter or waitress. You give them your order, and you give them your order, and then they are going to repeat back to you what you just ordered. So if you ordered a burger, well done, with a side of fries and a glass of juice, then you're going to say, they're going to repeat that back to you, and then they're going to see if that was correct, what they said to you. And so this is the third level of selling, to say, to understand this principle. So I'm just parking now, and we're going to be going shortly, guys. So this idea of, not this idea, but this truth of getting understanding from your client. And so that's the third level. And comment below, guys, to say and share what you feel is important in your sales tactics.